is Alina and you're on the Personal Spirit YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the events that happened today in Great Britain. As you may know, Elizabeth II, Her Majesty Elizabeth Queen II, she passed away today. And first of all, my condolences to all citizens of the Great Britain and to all people all over the world who admired Her Majesty Elizabeth Queen, because she was really a remarkable woman, and she was an icon of Great Britain actually, and I admire Great Britain. I think it's a great country with great history and great traditions, and of course it's a sad day to know that she passed away. Of course she was 96 years old. It was in general expected, but still it's a sad event, and may her memory be blessed. But today I want to talk about it in a context of spirituality. What does it spiritually mean that she passes away in 2022? This is not an easy year for humanity. As we all know, now the war in Europe is taking place. Ukraine was attacked by Russian Federation in February, and there are a lot of refugees in all over the Europe, and not only in Europe, also here in the United States we have some refugees or victims of this war. And there is some symbolism I want to pay your attention to, that only a few months ago the first president of Ukraine passed away. Leonid Kravchuk was his name. He also was not a young man. He was born in 1931 or 34, if I'm not mistaken. And less than 2 weeks ago, a little more than a week ago, the last General Secretary of USSR, actually the only president of USSR, it was like a new status when the Iron Curtain broke in 1990. He became a president, not a General Secretary, and he was like the only one president of USSR from 90 to 91. So he also passed away a little more than a week ago, and now Elizabeth Queen dies, and we can see that it's like an end of era of some period of history that happens here and now. Of course, they were all elderly people, and we could say, okay, they could pass away a year ago, a year later, but somehow they didn't. They all are passing away those months during the war in Europe taking place, and where the Soviet-style Russian regime with a leader that is more than 20-something years ruling the country. This regime attacks another country, a young democracy, and they are having a war, and the world supports Ukraine, but still Ukrainians are fighting alone. We need to admit it. But it's not about this war, but the fact that all those events are taking place in the same period of time, like this war in Europe. The country in Europe in 21st century is trying to capture another country and take lands. It sounds like a nonsense and something surrealistic, something surreal, but this is what is happening here and now in front of our eyes. During this time, the first president of Ukraine dies. Then last General Secretary and the only one president of USSR dies. And a week later, Elizabeth Queen dies, and we can see this is all the energy of 20th century important figures of that time are passing away, and this is a change of era, and it has a spiritual meaning why they're passing away this year all three of them and not in different, you know, years, what is totally possible. They shouldn't die one after another, but this is what is happening. And what it means spiritually, that it's a big energetical shift, a big energetical change is taking place, and lots of things that were not able to happen in older energies will happen right now. We will see changes on all level, on bigger levels. We will see lots of changes in politics, in sociology, in what is happening in societies of different countries, big political changes, as I told before. And also on a personal level, we will also face a lot of changes. Lots of things that worked for many years for us and were okay for us for many years will stop be as good and as relevant as they were once. And at the same time, some things that we wanted to happen and were not happening, like there were some obstacles and something didn't work and something was a little stuck and something was we had a feeling that it's not time yet. Lots of those things will stop be stuck, and things will start happening and changes will start happening, and there will be a lot of changes and a lot of fresh new starts and new beginnings and new chapters in life. This is what this all this symbolism hints us to see this end of times and the beginning of new times. Also, if you're interested in this topic, Crayon in his books, in many of his books, wrote a lot about it, and we can find actually a lot of different spiritual literature that just doesn't come to my mind right now, that talked about it, that there will be like a change of times and a change of leaders and a change of paradigm, the change of era, and people that are symbolizing the older energy, the energy of the past, will leave this planet rapidly, and big new changes will come. Of course, the period of changes is not an easy period, and there is a lot of stress and unknown at the moment. But we need to remember that we are all here to increase the vibration of the planet, to do good. And when we are doing something and we're deciding to do something, we need to think, is it something that makes God happy or sad? Is it something that my soul and my ancestor's soul is happy or sad about? Is it something that makes this planet in general a better place or a worse place? Is it something that has higher energy or lower energy? And it really helps me in a lot of cases to make right life decisions when I'm asking myself those questions. That's pretty all what I wanted to say for today, and I'll be glad to hear from you, to hear your comments and your thoughts on this topic about this change of times. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and ring the bell so you will not miss my new videos and live streams. Goodbye.